So why are people hoarding / panic buying? The answer is simple. They are scared. And who can blame them? Hoarding is one of the few actions most people can proactively take against something that is well beyond our own control. As fruitless as hoarding is when it really comes right down to it. What is missing is trust in society itself, in the government and private institutions that run it, and in how society functions at all. Are we really that surprised when solidarity quickly disappears and is replaced by the every man for himself mentality? When our culture continuously reinforces the need for and the virtues of a dog-eat-dog world. Hoarding is clearly not limited to countries with historical inept public institutions either. It is often at its worst in the richest capitalist countries in the world during these uncertain times. What society is and how it functions is something humans have created. What we have is not the final version by any stretch of the imagination. Many people's subconscious desire to normalize everything ends up calcifying, entrenching, and stagnating institutions until they are brought down by their own inflexibility by external shock. We do not live in a static world. The environment is ever-changing, even without human input. Humanity's oldest enemy has always been the environment itself, something most people have forgotten in the relatively environmentally stable period of the last few hundred years. Something that is definitely not a given. Think of it in terms of evolution. In specific specialization, animals can evolve to master a very specific environment, outclassing all other animals to dominate their chosen niche environment. If that particular environment changes abruptly, however, these animals are in no position to quickly adapt and so die out. Our economy and our society is excessively specialized. Banks, companies, and even individuals have no reserves to adapt to crisis. Everyone is living off easy credit. Terms like just-in-time, outsourcing, streamlining, and the age-old profit margins have shaped our lifestyles. We live in the moment, hoarding land, ideas, and capital for our own self-interests. To do otherwise has been a severe disadvantage for many years now. Even our concept of national borders, excessive patent laws owned by corporations, and unfettered speculative property ownership reinforces this rigidity, this inability for society to act fluidly to change. That the coronavirus will usher in the end of our current social model is unlikely, but like many great empires of history that experience gradual decline, the external shock will further stretch a rigid, specialized global system unable to change. There is only so much fictional credit we can pump into the self-centered capitalist complex before the trickle-down concept completely falls apart. The question becomes, what replaces our current system when the external shocks become too much? Historically, it generally degenerates into various forms of autocratic tribalism, be it on a national, racial, ideological, or religious level, as everyone scrambles for resources and the desire for self-sufficiency of their people. That this leads to conflict and an inevitable decline in the standard of living, or a dark age, and suffering for everyone has been proven time and time again. So again, I understand that people are scared. Even if you haven't spent hours philosophizing about society, your subconscious has to some degree. Overviews is a subconscious speciality, after all, expressed in feelings or gut instincts. And as most people will tell you, they feel that our current society is unsustainable. Most don't see a way forward, though, except for those with a delusional lust for autocratic tribalism. Be it left or right, the concentration of power is the wrong way forward. Autocratic rule is a disaster for the common person, be it capitalist oligarchy masquerading as democracy, or a government dictatorship masquerading as a socialist or fascist people's party. We need to support the free market, human rights and freedom, disband oligarchies through a wealth tax and a sensible progressive tax, remove property speculation and hoarding through a strong land value tax that replaces other taxes, curtail government corruption through the implementation of a concessions-based public authority, support strong government regulations and universal guidelines for environmental sustainability, stop supporting oppressive regimes through opportunistic commercial agreements, Remove religious fanaticism by ensuring dogma cannot be taught as unquestionable fact, but as a lifestyle, as a philosophy to improve our lives. All of these topics have been covered in separate videos in greater details. Links in the description below. The solutions are on hand. As has been the case throughout time, only the propaganda and misinformation of those in power is holding back reform. We need to take on all forms of power concentration once and for all, and the required instability necessary to shake up the entrenched system is, or soon will be, on hand. Opportunity beckons. We should prepare for it, organize, and take it, before those lusting after a return to the various forms of autocratic rule, be it left or right, do. What is needed is a global People's Party, focused on sustainability, strong regulation, a free market, and human rights. Take care, stay healthy, and all the best.